We are seeing all kinds of technology. We're kind of agnostic as far as our interests, so we don't filter by that. But being an economic development entity for the state of Maryland, we're seeing two broad areas. One is IT, pretty much driven by the fact that we have Fort Meade with NSA and the Cyber Command and everything that's going on there, running up the 95 corridor to Aberdeen Proving Grounds, where the BRAC has just moved in all the functions out of Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, and they're in the C4ISR environment. And so that gives us a lot of IT. Then you look at another major corridor we have, which is Route 270, and that runs pretty much from NIH and the Naval Medical Research Center right on out to the Army's, U.S. Army's Medical Research and Material Command and the National Cancer Institute. So with those anchors, there's a lot of biotech in between along 270. So those are the predominant ones that I see. But we've got renewable energy, we've got battery technology, any technology you can think of, material science, it runs the gamut. Getting better. 15 years ago, when I first got into tech transfer and commercialization from the government side, I went over and looked at the SBIR program and asked them what do they look for in a commercialization plan. And they were very proud to show me some of the half-page submissions that came with their SBIR submissions. I mean, half a page for commercialization. I tried to work with them then and insisted it'd be more. I think I got it to a page and a half. Since moved out and working from the outside, if you will, instead of trying to push technologies out, trying to pull technologies out. And in that realm, I'm seeing government get a little better understanding of what it takes to go to business. And they could probably use some help in their valuations. When I left the government, I sat down with the center director for NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and told him he had two problems with tech transfer. And he said, "Two, is that all?" I said, "Well, yeah, two overriding ones." I said, "One is the valuation." And I'll use NASA as an example, but it's not exclusive to them. The government might spend $1 million on each of two hand-developed prototypes, one to fly in space and one to be the ground truth. So they've spent a couple $1 million on this technology. It's been proven space qualified, so obviously it's worth a couple $1 million if anybody's going to license that technology. The only trouble is that technology was hand-built with a titanium shell, radiation-hardened electronics and everything, and the entrepreneur that's coming in looking to license it is looking at a consumer application, for a mass consumer application, and he has to re-engineer the whole thing, put it in a plastic shell with Radio Shack components, and sell it for $100 each and make a profit. Obviously, there's still a lot of risk in that proposition. Obviously not the $1 million development that the government has produced and might be ready to go for space applications. And so you have to reconstruct and reevaluate the valuation based on the application. Otherwise, the entrepreneur is going to look at that and go, for a $100 component, I got to be paid $2 million up front, forget it. And they walk away. The other problem is the pace of government. Government, because it's managing taxpayer dollars, is very deliberate and is cautious about how they do that. I understand that. On the other hand, I also understand the business community. So you call and leave a message for somebody in the government and they'll get back to you by the end of the week. You want a meeting, probably have that arranged by the end of the month. You want a commitment, maybe by the end of the quarter. And talking about funds, that's next fiscal year. In the private sector, it's I want the call back by the end of the day. I want the meeting by the end of the week. I want the commitment in the meeting. And what do you mean it takes 2 days to cut a check? You haven't heard of wire transfers? It's a different pace. And part of the challenge of tech transfer is somehow melding those two to make things work. But when it does, you can get some great successes. I see the government truly aspiring to make things happen faster. And I think they are starting to take the look at, get away from the attitude that I invented it, it's proven, so what else is there to do? The rest is easy, right? Well, now I think there's getting to be some appreciation for the risk on the other side and just how hard it is to take something to market and be successful at it. Invention and innovation can be a very small piece of a very large, high-risk effort. And I think there's getting to be some appreciation for that, much more than used to be.